So if the Yankees want to make some immediate changes right now, I mean, they could make some immediate changes right now. And just for bringing in some fresh blood at the upper minor league levels, who could potentially give them a jolt of energy, some versatility, and maybe light a fire on some of their starters' butts. Because the fact is, some of these guys are not performing. Gleyber Torres is not performing. Clint Frazier is not performing. And as much as they've been kind of mainstays now for the Yankees, more so Torres, they are not performing at the minor league level. So send them down. Option them down. Let them work on things, okay? They have options. And bring in some other guys. I mean, you have Trey Ambergate. You've got Ho-Jun Park. We have other guys, too. I mean, Greg Allen is a switch hitter. And it would give the Yankees some lineup options as well. While they're looking for potential upgrades at the major league level and trades, it might make sense to call up some of these guys and give them opportunities. Even Chris Gittens, he's had an opportunity. He took advantage of it. He played pretty well. And, he might be worth an option, too, even though Luke Voit is back, so I get that one will be a little bit more difficult. But these guys represent some attractive options. And I haven't even mentioned Tyler Wade or Brett Gardner. I mean, there are some guys on the 40-man right now who it might be good to move on from. As much as I like these guys, but you can move on from Brett Gardner, and I know he's the most tenured Yankee, and there's a lot of sentimental value, but the fact is he's not making the team better. If they're depending on him in the lineup, I would be giving Ho-Jun Park or Trey Ambergate an opportunity in here. And the same thing, I would option Clint Frazier, let him work on stuff in the minors. I would send down Gleyber Torres. He's just not performing in any capacity. So these are things you have to do. I mean, if you want to get better, these are things you have to do. And I just mentioned a bunch of guys, Ambergate, Chris Gittens, okay, and again, but Ambergate, Ho-Jun Park, Greg Allen, these guys are down there and can give the Yankees things that they're not doing now: small ball, versatility, athleticism. The lineup is so lethargic right now. And even if they call up an Oswald Peraza to replace Gleyber Torres for a little bit, they have to be willing to do this stuff. If he's going to get a little butthurt, let him get butthurt. He's a major league ball player, and he's been their starter for quite a few years now, but he's not performing. So there are things that he needs to work on. Maybe get his head right. That's what AAA is for. Okay, that's what options are for. And we have guys. Trey Ambergate's hitting .355. Okay, he's hitting the cover off the ball. Ho-Jun Park is hitting .325, hitting the ball all over the place, getting clutch hits. Okay, and that's why the other day I mentioned Bergman Odor. He right now is the most probably valuable left-handed hitter on the Yankees roster, and the Yankees 40-man. The Yankees are paying like 8 cents for him, so it makes sense to keep him on there. And if I'm going to move anybody, it's going to be Wade or Gardner before him, because he's more productive with the bat. Okay, and that's my opinion, but you may disagree, and that's okay. But it doesn't make sense to keep Gardner or Wade on there. And I understand the 40-man ramifications. If you're going to take a 40-man guy off, somebody has to. If you're going to put a guy on the 40-man who's not on the 40-man, you have to remove somebody from. I get all that stuff, but again, that's what options are for too. And we have guys now that can represent, upgrades. And right now, while the Yankees are looking for a Ketel Marte or Brian Reynolds, who are going to be either one's going to be really hard to get, or even Adam Frazier, or whatever they're looking to do. So, because the fact is, too, the Yankees are a poorly constructed team, as we know. We've already discussed this. And they're lacking versatility. They're lacking athleticism. And the guys that we have in the upper levels of the minor league represent these things that the Yankees don't have right now at the major league level. So it makes sense to give them a shot. See what happens. The Yankees are already not playing well. And they're far back there right now. But honestly, I would rather give some of these young guys an opportunity than have these guys just basically sitting and kind of wasting roster spots right now. And while they're twiddling their thumbs, blame's got to go everywhere. I mean, the fact is, it's a poorly constructed team, so that falls on Hal and Cashman, and it's also being mismanaged by Aaron Boone, okay, and also Marcus Timms. So I wouldn't be surprised if Timms or Boone or both of them go. But the fact is, too, even if you bring in Buck Showalter, I know so many people are talking about Buck Showalter, he's still going to have the same poorly constructed lineup. There's no guarantee he's going to light fire under people or whatever. He might, but he also had issues clashing with players. But at the same time, lighting a fire under somebody isn't necessarily going to make them all of a sudden a better left-handed hitter or or more versatile hitter. It's not going to turn a righty into a switch hitter or anything like that. So, and these are the things that they need to acknowledge right now. So these names right now, I think, should be considered as guys to call up while sending other people out or down. Again, Trey Ambergay, Hoyjon Park, Chris Gittens. Well, I know Gittens is kind of blocked by Voit now. I get it. But Greg Allen, all right, and Oswald Peraza, at least those guys. And they would represent things that the Yankees aren't driving guys over. They're not hitting run. They're not bunting guys over. They're not playing small ball. These guys do these things. So, honestly, what are we waiting for? And I know Cashman's saying, "Oh, we're talking to a lot of people and blah blah blah." But he says that every year. He says that every year, and then look what happens. He gets outdone by a lot of the other GMs, especially recently at the trading deadline, because his best trades come in the off season, particularly blockbuster trades. So, I wanted to talk about this because I think it's. You may not even heard of some of these guys, but and I know some of them I've talked about in trades, but we have obvious choices right now in AAA that might be better options than some of the guys in the major leagues, and they have to be willing to make these tough choices right now. You move on from Brett Gardner, maybe you retire his number later on, or give him a day, or whatever it is. I like Brett Gardner, he's a valuable guy, but he's not hitting. He doesn't have as much value to the team anymore. Neither does Tyler Wade. I like his versatility, but Hoyjon Park is an upgrade. He's a Tyler Wade with a much better bat. Trey Ambergay's not lefty, he's righty, but he hits the cover off the ball. And he hits lefties and righties. So, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So, let me know what you think. Whether these same guys are in mind. And again, I want them to make trades and all this stuff, but while they're looking to make trades, or we have some guys who can maybe stop the bleeding a little bit. Give the Yankees a jolt of energy. Give them a jolt of athleticism, a jolt of versatility that they don't have now. So, again, paging Brian Cashman, paging Hal Steinbrenner. I'm paging you. I'm calling you. I'm using the intercom. So, you guys let me know what you think, because something needs to be done. It needs to be done now. And whether they make one move or two or three or four, it's got to be done. So, let me know what you think, guys.